Hello, welcome to a special edition of Inside the Birds. We got a chalk talk session going on. Jeff Mosher, Adam Caplan. We're bringing back a familiar face, and man, he has coached everywhere. But most recently, Geoff Nixon, our guest, is the Syracuse offensive coordinator.
I really appreciate you having me on. Enjoyed it last time, and definitely looking forward, to talking a little bit about Kyle McCord.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, it's your first year as a coaching staff at Syracuse, and I know every coaching staff wants a quarterback, right? And lo and behold, Kyle McCord decides he's going to part ways with Ohio State, and he needs a new place. He enters the portal, and what is it, like the very next day that either Fran or you guys go out to Columbus, Ohio to sort of wine and dine him to get him to go to Syracuse?
Yeah, no doubt. Coach Brown, Fran, he was at his house the very next day. As soon as we were legally allowed to make contact with him, we were very fortunate, at Syracuse, to have Kyle be our quarterback in our inaugural year here at the university.
So Geoff, one of the things, when we talk quarterbacks here, and this is our 8th year doing the show, and we talk to guys who've been in scouting, coaches, so forth, they talk about the wiring of a player. The makeup. What's the makeup?
Philadelphia's going to love him, man. The guy's a football savant. He loves football. He's the ultimate competitor. He's a leader. He was a leader day one, when he walked in the building, for our program. Not only by the way he works, his work ethic in the film room, on the field, but also, he's a really vocal, fiery leader. Our guys really followed him, and he led our entire team to a 10-win season. He's a quarterback that can see the whole field. I mean, he gets it. I mean, he can see the whole field. He can go through progressions. He can make every throw. And he's just, really, really intelligent. You can have a lot of football and he's going to study it, and he's going to know every concept in the run and in the pass game. And, he's going to be able to go out and execute an NFL style offense, because of his intelligence and his work ethic and his ability to make every throw.
Jeff, Kyle led the NCAA in passing yards, passing attempts, completions per game, passing. I mean, basically all the major passing categories, which I think probably took some people by surprise. We know that, running backs and defensive-minded head coaches don't always like to throw the ball.
That's right.
B, he just got there. So you must have seen something. Like, was that always the plan the day he said, I'm at Syracuse? Or did you have to see something as soon as he got there to say, okay, we can really open this thing up?
No, I mean, we designed the offense around him. And, I thought we had really good skill athletes here. We had a running back drafted. We had a All-American tight end, who was drafted, in the 5th round, by the Chargers. Yep. We had, two or three really, really good receivers. We had a receiver who led the ACC in catches. So just knowing his ability and his strengths, that was throwing the football and, really being able to read the defense and make the right decisions and get the ball in our playmakers' hands. So right away, once he got here and we started diving into the playbook and, we started seeing him throw 7-on-7 and the way, he took command of the offense right away. We knew, we were probably going to end up being, a little bit more, pass heavy.
When we bring up the attempts, right? Over 45 a game. That's just, it's incredible. And your background as a running backs coach, yes, I know you've called plays, but typically when you talk running backs coaches, they want to pound the rock. Like, as a play caller, what's the flow like of that?
Well, it's funny because, I think, Philly's really going to like him, because we were also a big RPO team. So, a lot of times, like, we get passing yards. I always thought they should keep a category for RPO yards, when it's called runs, but you also got RPOs, called with the runs, So we had a lot of passing yards off of, RPO, type concepts as well. But that requires you have a quarterback that really makes good decisions, whether to hand it or to throw it. A lot of times, we had the ability on those type plays to, we got the throw read, and as a quarterback like Kyle who has a gunslinger mentality, a lot of times on those plays he's going to throw it. If it's any doubt, he's going to throw the football.
So tell us what Kyle did when he got to Syracuse to really assert himself as the starting quarterback. And I don't mean throwing the ball. I mean, bam, you bring him in. It's a new team. What's your first memory of Kyle ingratiating himself to the Cuse culture?
Just his work ethic and his leadership ability. I mean, immediately, he would always call like the receivers and the skill guys for extra workouts. I think that's where it all starts. I think you got to gain their trust, and he did that right away by always having the skill guys, in the film room, watching film with him, going over the plays, going over how they're going to run certain routes, and then getting them to go out on the field and run extra individual routes so that he could get a feel for each guy, like in their ability. And then, doing the 7-on-7, which is big, like in the off season, being able to call that himself and get the guys to do that extra work. I think that's the way he kind of gained the guys' attention and, just became a leader for us right away in the off season once he got here.
So Geoff, when you look at Kyle's situation here with Philly, they have a pretty loaded quarterback room. Obviously, Hurts is the guy. You got this kid Tanner McKee, who's this big, tall pocket passer out of Stanford. They traded for Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Yes,
who's sort of a multi-purpose quarterback, and you got Kyle. Over the next 2 or 3 years, okay, well, let's put Hurts on the island because he's clearly not going to be challenged. But how do you see him handling this situation here as a guy who's right now fourth on the depth chart?
I see him handling it very well, but I will say this though: he's going to compete. Like he's going to come in and compete. I mean, that's why Howie Roseman's the best bet. Like to get a player of Kyle McCord's caliber in the 6th round, a guy who led the country in passing, who's played at Ohio State, who's played at Syracuse, played in a lot of big time games. He's going to handle the situation well. I mean, he played behind Stroud at Ohio State. I think maybe even Justin Fields. Those type guys who are, all 1st round picks and having a lot of success in the NFL. So he waited his turn, and when he got a chance to play, whether it was his junior year at Ohio State or his senior year at Syracuse, he took advantage of it and has had some success. I mean, the guy's only lost 4 games, I think, in 2 years as a starter in major college football, which is a really, really good record. And I definitely look forward to him competing, with the Eagles. Again, similar type offense, RPOs, big time playmakers on the outside, with the receivers, and then obviously having Saquon. I feel like he can really go in and execute that offense and compete with anybody in that room. But I'm telling you, man, this guy can, he can really throw the football and he can really process information. If you're looking, at an NFL type quarterback, and at the end of the day, you got to be able to make the throws on 3rd down, to be able to stay on the field. And Kyle McCord can do that. He's, I really compare him to like a Kirk Cousins type or Matthew Stafford type that can really, really throw the football, with timing and accuracy, and can process the information and, really be a true NFL quarterback.
I want to know just how big the chip was on his shoulder. I mean, it was kind of widely known when he left Ohio State that he felt maybe not the most appreciated. Like you said, I think he'd only lost 1 game there, and they're looking at Will Howard from Kansas State. So when he gets to Syracuse, how big's that chip on his shoulder?
No, I mean, I think he handled the situation very well. Definitely. It was actually hard for me to understand exactly what happened, how you go 11-1 and you kind of end up in this situation. So, I really didn't get into it with him all that much, It's a testament to him.
Were you able to see a fire or a competitive thirst?
No, I think he's self-motivated to be good. Okay. I mean, he wants to be an NFL quarterback. So he came in and put the work in, and obviously, it worked out for him. We really didn't talk too much about Ohio State. I think he came in. I think he saw that as a coaching staff, we had complete confidence in him that he was our guy no matter what, so we gave him that confidence, and he was able to really lead our team this year.
Geoff, when you look at his situation last season, I mean, I think you had 4 receivers or 4 guys who caught passes. Those 4 guys had over 60 catches, which is insane. When you look at the overall picture with your offense last season and Kyle's ability, did you know that coming in, because this is your 1 year to work with him, did you know kind of going in that this is going to be, because we were talking about the attempts last, a couple minutes ago, but did you see them? Did you see it spreading it around as much as he did?
I did. I thought we have really good. The offense is designed to, spread the ball around to, all 5 skill positions. We had a running back drafted. He led the NCAA in running back catches. We had a tight end who led the, who was an All-American, and we had 3 receivers who were really, really good. So the offense is designed to spread the ball around. Not necessarily just the one, receiver. And Kyle did a good job of really working with all of our skill players and understanding their strengths and weaknesses and just executing the play called. So whatever his, really good at, again, getting through his 3rd and 4th progression.
Wow.
Being able to, check the ball down to the running back, being able to throw the ball backside, when your front side read is taken away. The guy's an NFL quarterback. I mean, he plays the position like you want the position to be played. Like he spreads the ball out. He's going to take the completions. He's going to execute the offense. Keep us in 3rd manageable. And that's why we had some success this year on offense. Because of his play, him being able to spread the ball out and keep us in great situations on 3rd down.
All right, Geoff, we really appreciate it. I got one last thing for you because we have to have your reflection on this. The Miami game, you guys beat the Hurricanes. You basically make sure that you kick them out of the college football playoff, right? Clemson's all thanks, guys.
Yeah.
You're down 21-0, right? Early in that game, and you guys come back and it becomes neck and neck and win that game. What just your recollections of how Kyle handled himself in that kind of big game atmosphere and to win that game in the end?
Shoot, we won the game. I mean, he was a huge reason why we won the game. He stayed calm. I think as a coaching staff, we stayed calm. And then, you always want your quarterback still to stay within the offense. When you get in that type of situation, we knew how quickly we could score. We knew, being down 21, that, some things happen, that didn't go our way, to get to that point. But, we just needed one score, to get back in the game. And Kyle was on fire. I mean, he didn't flinch, at all in that situation. And, we were able to, go out and get some completions, get one score, got it rolling. And I think we scored every drive the rest of the game except for, except for one when we, kind of fumbled in the red zone. But no, he played awesome. It was great to outduel Cam Ward, who's a great player.
Right.
Yeah, who's a great player. So, that was a special moment for us here. Hopefully it was a special moment for, in Syracuse football history. That was a big win for us. And, was so happy for, all of our guys, especially for Kyle, to be on the national scene and to play that well, to come back down from 21. That really kind of, cemented, his legacy here, with Syracuse football, winning that football game.